The chair recognizes the gentleman from Florida, Mr. Diaz-Balart.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
For 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, just 90 miles away from the coast of the United States, there exists a murderous terrorist regime excuse me, in the island of Cuba. It's a regime that harbors terrorists, that funds terrorism, that even holds an American hostage since December of '09, and that denies all human rights, basic human rights to its people. Currently, Mr. Chairman, there has now been a reported 26 pro-democracy activists who have initiated a hunger strike. It started with Jorge Luis Garcia Perez Antunes on a hunger strike September 7th of 2012 to protest the brutal repression and oppression by the Castro thugs against the Cuban people, against the political prisoners. And it now has been joined, as I said, by another 25. You're not going to see, Mr. Chairman, you're not going to see that in the front pages of the newspapers. These are the individuals that for some reason the press will not cover. The only thing you see about the Castro regime is, frankly, the beauty of the beaches in that island and the fact that they have old cars. That's such a quaint thing. It's not quaint when your human rights are violated and when you're forced to drive 50-year-old automobiles, if you're lucky to even get one of those. And since these individuals, these heroes, are for some reason being denied the coverage that they deserve, I come to the floor to mention who they are, these heroes that we have to support, that we have to defend, and that we can never forget. So I'm going to read their names. I mentioned Jorge Luis Garcia Perez Antunes, Jorge Vázquez Chaviano, Arturo Conde Zamora, Yerandi Martínez Rodríguez, Orlando Almenares Reyes, Luis Enrique Ponce Sánchez, Roberly Villalobos Torres, Israel Robert Isaac, Juniel Álvarez García, Luis Enrique Santos Caballero, Yosmel Martínez Corcho, Alberto Reyes Morales, Marta Beatriz Roque Cabello, by the way, who's a very well-known pro-democracy leader in Cuba and whose health is frankly in poor shape, Omar Pedroso Suárez, Yadira Rodríguez Bombino, Ibis María Rodríguez González, Fermín Zamora Vázquez, Yasmani Nicle Abad, Leonardo Cancio Santana, Pedro Fernández Vega Cortés, Arcelio López Rojas, Michael Valdez Díaz, and Jorge Luis Recio Arias. These heroes, these pro-democracy activists and heroes, have stood up and are standing up to the Castro dictatorship with, frankly, whatever they have, including their health and their bodies. They need our prayers. They need our support. They need our solidarity at this pivotal time in their struggle for Cuba's freedom. Mr. Chairman, may God protect these brave heroes. May the international community demonstrate the solidarity that they deserve. And yes, we here in the United States Congress and in this country must continue to work and do what we can to help them and others achieve their final day of freedom. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Gentleman yields back. The chair